Hello, I just wanted to come on before this video and say thank you so much for 1,000 subscribers, and I am just thrilled. I never thought that I would even make it. You know, there's millions of other channels that have so many more subscribers, but to me it's very special, and I want to thank all of you. So stay tuned for the tutorial. For base, I'm taking Illamasqua's Pigment in Hollow, and I'm putting that on lid to brow with a synthetic brush from Urban Decay. I'm taking NYX Jumbo Pencil in Milk, and I'm using that to highlight the inner corner of my lid and also the brow bone area. For an even application, I'm just mixing it with what's left over on the brush and then smoothing it out with my finger. Just a little insurance that both sides of my eyes match, I use a piece of tape as a guide, and this also helps later on for the winged eyeliner application. I'm putting Pot by M.A.C on the lid using a 239 brush from M.A.C. And I'm placing the eyeshadow on my lid, blending it up into the crease and leaving space for a highlight color later. As my transition color, I'm using Wedge by M.A.C, and I'm applying that in my crease all the way to the inner corner with an angled brush by Crown. With a small shader brush from Sigma and the second shadow in the Viva Ray palette by Kate Von D, I'm going to place the shadow in my inner crease and outer V. I'm taking a small shader crease brush from Sigma E47 and the last shadow in the palette, and I'm going to blend it together with the last shadow that I applied because this shadow has a different texture. It's more of a shimmer shadow, and I just like the effect I get when mixing shimmers and mattes together. To add depth to the look, I'm taking a darker shade from M.A.C, Damson, and that small Sigma shader brush, and I'm going to line the lash line, and also I'm going to place the color in the outer V and the outer area of my lid. Now I'm just going to blend it out with the E47 and what's left over on the brush. For my highlight color, I'm using Yougurt by M.A.C and a 217 brush from M.A.C, and I'm going to blend out the inner corner and the brow bone area and any harsh lines. I'm taking Carbon, a black matte shadow from M.A.C, and a 217 brush, and I'm going to smoke out the lash line and the outer corner of my eye and also the outer V. Going back back in with that E47 shader brush and a little more of that shimmer color. I'm going to blend Carpet out. Taking the 239 brush and more of Yoghurt, I'm going to put that in the inner corner, avoiding the outer half of my lid. I'm using a small lid brush from Sigma Performance Collection and more of the Yoghurt, and I'm popping that in the inner corner of my eye and the highest point of my brow. For lashes, I'm using Wispies from Ardell. To ensure that the glue has become tacky and easy to apply to my lid, I wait about 50 to 60 seconds and then I start applying the lashes. There's a little dip where your lashes ends and your lid begins, and I try to get the lashes in that area for a more natural look. Taking a tool from Crown, I make sure that the outer area of the lashes are firmly applied, as well as the inner corner. I utilize the tool and lift my own lashes into the false lashes, and also I try to curl them upwards. This just moves them closest to the lash line. Then I just pinch them together. Secure fit, take a lash curler and apply a little pressure. L'Oreal True Match in C4 Shell Beige. I place a couple drops on my mirror. Using an F82, I stipple the foundation into the brush. With downward circular motions, I begin applying the foundation. For medium to full coverage, use a short bristled brush like this one from Crown and just tap the foundation into your skin in downward strokes. For a better result, do one section of your face at a time, working in downward motions. I use the round kabuki for the thinnest parts of my face for a lighter application. This leads for less cakiness. Do not forget your neck area. You want a smooth transition from your face to your neck. You want it to be all one color. To avoid cakiness and foundation settling in the fine lines and wrinkles, use the least amount of foundation, especially in the forehead area. Your foundation seems to settle in fine lines. Pointed foundation brush from Real Techniques, MAC Pro Wear Concealer. Under eye circles can be a bitch, but also putting too much concealer in that area can cause cakiness and puffiness. So use a light hand and tap the product into your skin. To ensure that the concealer doesn't settle in the fine lines, I tap the product up towards my lash line. The concealer won't settle in my fine lines. I'd like to rub the concealer out, especially in the forehead area. For my brows, I'm using MAC's Fluid Line Brow Gel Cream in Deep Dark Brunette and an angled brush from Ray Morris. To help shape the brows, I use an angled brush when I conceal. I'm using Smashbox Contour Palette and a Ray Morris Radiance Brush number 87 to contour. Drawing an oval around your face and contour outside that oval. That really gives the best result. And you want to contour close to the lash line as possible, especially on the forehead. You don't want any patchiness. Still envisioning that imaginary oval, I am contouring the sides of my face. Concealer brush by TG. Place the highlighter on the highest points of your cheeks and the sides of your temple. Apply to the Cupid's bow, down the front of the nose, the chin. For a poly look, bronze under the lip. For straight nose, contour the sides. For lash, I'm using Koi Girl by MAC and an angled brush by Crown. I like to place the blush underneath where I highlight and above where I contour. For an extra pop of highlight, I'm using the shimmer shade of the palette and that small shader brush from Sigma, and I'm popping some color in the inner half of my eye and again on the highest point of my brow. Then I'm going to take a little bit of yogurt and pop more of that on the inner half of my lid, mixing it with the shimmer shade. Now take what's left over on that E47 and smoke out the outer half of your lid, blending towards the middle. Now take the Blackest eyeliner, and I'm using Stila Blackest Black, and I'm going to apply my liner in a winged effect. Now I'm taking a mixture of Damson and Carbon and I'm smoking out the lower lash line. Smooth out the winged liner, and to protect it from fading, I'm using Carbon and an angled brush from MAC 266. Clean out any fallout, I'm using a Real Technique brush and the Pro Wear Concealer by MAC. Whirl Lip Liner by MAC to line the lips.
Staring at the sink of blood and crushed veneer.
Now I'm taking a little bit of the Damson and I'm going to go over the Whirl Lip Liner and leaving the middle of my lips bare. Taking Blush Pot by M.A.C and doing the middle of my lips. I took a lip tar Lydia from OCC and went over the Damson eyeshadow and the Whirl Lip Liner. This technique gave me a subtle ombre effect. You want to tap the powder into your skin, not rub. This will ensure that your makeup stays in place. Taking the newest mascara by M.A.C, I'm applying that to my lashes. Another tip is to roll the applicator into a paper towel to ensure no mascara fallout. So this is the final look. For watching. Thank you for being subscribed, and if you're not subscribed, please subscribe, and as always I will see you all in the next video. Bye!